Hey NCU students, how are you today? Welcome to week 6. Let's see, the simple math says we're 75% through after week 6. So 2 more weeks to go after that. So exciting stuff. Okay, we're talking about supply chains this week. And the other way that we flipped it is to talk to them about value chains, like where in the supply chain are people or organizations adding value to the final consumer. So don't get don't spend too much time wrapping your head around that, other than just remembering value chains where we're adding in value at each step in the supply chain. So it's called a value chain. It's a lean manufacturing concept. I want to direct your attention to page 332. It's right in the beginning of chapter, I think this is chapter 9, is what it was titled. And here's a definition of a supply chain. A supply chain is, and I'm just reading it verbatim, okay? So a supply chain is an interlinked system of numerous organizations that collaborate and cooperate in delivering the products and service to the final customer. So the best way to think about this is think of the supply chain not necessarily as a chain, maybe as a network. And in some cases, when those individuals work really close to each other, it's a tightly coupled network. In other cases where there's a disconnect, it's a loose coupling of the network. But nonetheless, it's not necessarily a chain. It's a network of people network of organizations working together to deliver the final customer, or the final goods and services to the customer. I want to jump over to page 358, figure 9.7. And in this simple example, you can follow the from the customer. That's the little family shown at the end there. Show what their order has done. They place an order, and it goes all the way up and around back to the raw material, where then the order is filled, if you will, and not immediately necessarily. Sometimes there's inventory in there and all that sort of thing. But then the material is sent back around in the form of inventory, sent all the way back around. And I think that's also the chain of money as well. If you want to follow the money, so to speak, you follow those black lines as it goes from the end consumer to the first supplier, the second supplier, third supplier, all the way back to the end. Let's see. Section 9.11 talks about the importance of forecasting. I can't say this enough. Forecasting is a very important tool that you just have to have in your organization. Forecasting your customers' volumes so that you can feed that to your suppliers. Kind of give you an example of forecasting, the importance of it. What I'm showing you here is a forecasting chart that we use where I work. We're a service company. We deliver, we staff people, both temporary employees and permanent employees and that sort of thing, for manufacturers, different other service industries as well. So this chart shows, and you can see the hard solid line. That's actually the aggregate plant volumes from one of our customers. And what we did is we requested that we can get aggregate plant volume data so that we can begin tracking how many temporaries they need from us, temporary associates. And you can see the dashed line is the temporary associates. Keep in mind there's two scales on this chart because there's two different trends. The black line is a plant volume, and the units for that are shown on the left-hand side axis, and then the right-hand axis is the number of temporary associates that we have in the plant at any one time. And this is a week by week by week trend. I can go back over a year now, and show this. And statistically, we can show that pretty good correlation between the plant volumes and what the customer asks from us. However, there are times when, in fact, you can see it in the very beginning of this chart, way back there in August, where we have a lot of temporaries in the plant and very little plant volume. You can see the plant volume rises and the number of temps goes down. That doesn't make sense, does it? All right. So sometimes in these short-term windows, everything just kind of falls apart for whatever reason. The customer needs more or fewer people. But generally speaking, we use this kind of a methodology to predict how many people we should be out recruiting for this particular customer with a particular skill set and that sort of thing. Okay, a little bit about the Bullwhip Effect. That's in section, I think it was 9.1. 9.12 talks about the bullwhip effect. So a little bit of, think about it like this, a little bit of an input request from the customer should never translate into a large swing of inventory at the other side. Okay, so you want that to be as steady state as possible. So a little bit of input from the customer, a little bit of request of goods from customer should turn into a little bit of output from suppliers and the supply chain and that sort of thing. So you never want to be in the situation where the customer wiggles the line a little bit because they want something, they want some goods or services just a little bit. You never want that to turn into a large swing later on. Can't run your business that way. Very difficult. You won't make money. You probably won't stay in business, to be honest with you. Okay, I think that's it. A few just a few house cleaning announcements kind of stuff. I'm going to be out of town on business Monday and Tuesday. I'm going down to Nashville with our company that I'm working with, and we're going to be working with a couple other manufacturers down there. So I'm going to be out Monday and Tuesday. Normally I correct papers on Monday, so I normally correct papers Monday morning, so it's going to be Monday evening before I get to them. So it'll be Monday evening before you see corrected papers come your way. Worst case scenario, it'll probably be Tuesday afternoon or Tuesday evening, okay? I should be able to get them done Monday evening. That's one thing. Tuesday night, I'm not going to hold any office hours. I will hold office hours, though, this coming Thursday. That's 6 p.m. to 7 p.m. Pacific time, which is 9 to 10 p.m. Eastern time. So again, this coming Thursday, I hold office hours from 6 p.m. to 7 p.m. Pacific time. Thanks for the survey information, by the way. This is kind of the second item I just wanted to mention real briefly. I'm making some adjustments. One of the things that came through loud and clear is you want more examples, especially those of you who work in service. You want some more examples of how service fits into the supply chain, or how service fits into operations, I should say. So I've tried to do that. The example I just mentioned to you, where I work, where I showed you that forecasting chart, is an example of how I'm trying to incorporate more service type items into this class for those of you who do service. Then the other thing related to that is this week's supplemental material is kind of a funny video, but you should take a look at it. It's all about service, all right? And I think you'll appreciate it, and hopefully you'll giggle at it like I did, but also think about some of those questions I put after the video that kind of get you thinking deeper about and more critically about what you're watching in terms of supply chain and value chain and that sort of thing. Okay, so anyways, I did hear you on those surveys, and I appreciate that feedback, and I'll see if I can make some adjustments. So keep up the good work. I want to encourage you, put your best effort in on these last few weeks. Don't coast, okay? Please, no coasting. Put your best effort in. I don't expect perfection, but I do expect excellence. I expect you to be able to do your very, very best, all right, and meet the expectations of the class. You guys are doing great, so don't give up on it yet, all right? Let's see, I think that's it. Couple more weeks to go after week 6, so hang in there. God is on his throne. He's always been there, and he always will be. Have a great day.